Alrighty, fellas, good morning. How are we doing today? My name is Patrouski. Welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, conversation, what is happening in the PokeMMO community every single day. It's a beautiful game. We're here to play it. Let's jump into it. We've got our catch events to cover. First things first, would you believe me if I told you that we had like 5 catch events coming up this weekend? 5 catch events in the next 3 days? Because we kind of do, okay? 2 of them are Beijing time zone, so hear me out. But I mean, at least that we have like 3 catch events, you know, in like the English language. It's crazy. So let's just jump into it. You might have already seen some of these. First things first, we do have the Igglybuff catch event, the Wigglytuff Jigglypuff catch event on Friday the 23rd of January at 3 p.m. ET at Route 14 in Unova. You have 1 hour to catch Wigglytuffs, Jigglypuffs, Mienshao, Tropius. Also, like the chance to get a shiny Tropius or like a raid Mienshao, single encountering and just playing the game here while that's happening is like fantastic. Nature bonuses on screen, +5 for Brave, +5 for Impish, +5 for Relax, and -5 for Serious. I did just upload a guide recently on how to, not only like how to like the basics of a catch event, but more the advanced stuff, how to like increase your odds of winning a catch event. I uploaded a video talking about that recently, like how the strategies have evolved over the years. A lot more players are using quick balls, nest balls, right? Synchronized strats when you can, right? Like, catch events have gotten a lot more competitive over the past, I want to say 1 to 2 years. I think a big thing that made catch events a lot more competitive was about 1 year ago. I think it was last December / like fall winter season last year in PokeMMO. They did a long-term seasonal catch event thing where they did like 8 to 9 catch events, and you had to score enough points to be able to participate in the like final catch event tournament throughout like 8 catch events. It was really cool. It was a really interesting like long-term catch event thing where even if you lost, all of your submissions mattered, so you could score enough points to like submit, right? So like I think that honestly brought a lot of people into catch events, as well as playing Ironman accounts have introduced a lot of people to catch events. Catch events are a lot of fun. They're a good break of monotony for main accounts. They're really efficient for Ironman accounts, and they're just a great time to get involved with the PokeMMO community. So there's the shiny Igglybuff prize plus thousands of RP reward points, free RP up for grabs. Next up, the Chatot catch event coming up 24th of January at 3 p.m. ET. If you want to scroll through any of this information at your own leisure and your own pace, it is all over on the official PokeMMO forums under official catch events. This is at Route 213 in Sinnoh. You have 1 hour to catch Chatot, Wingull, Buizel, Floatzel, and Shellos with obviously on-screen bonuses. Nature bonuses are on screen. There is a shiny Chatot up for grabs with some free RP. We're going to keep rolling. We got a Barboach catch event. This one's a really cool one. This is a weird one as well. This is also, we have 2 catch events. Two catch events on Saturday. I think a lot of people will miss that. I almost missed that. I thought this was on Sunday. If you're in my time zone, depending on your time zone, most people, this event is on Saturday. So for most people, there's 2 catch events on Saturday. Very, very, very important. This one's at 7 p.m. ET, Saturday, the 24th, Route 114 in Hoenn. You have 1 hour to catch only Barboach. Probably a fishing event, I believe is what that means. Nature bonuses +3 for Bold, +1 for Calm. You know, they're on screen. You guys can read them if you want to. And then moving on, there's a non-shiny Whiscash up for grabs. Kind of bummed to see a non-shiny prize, but I think there are. From my understanding, these staff members can only give out so many shinies and so many like reward points, and so there's like a little bit of a restriction on that, which makes sense to keep, you know, the economy healthy, to keep players still wanting to earn other things via just catch events all the time, right? So I get it. Although I would have loved to see this be a shiny prize, right? Anyways, next up, look at that little gif on this. Beijing catch events. These are really important, not only for Chinese players, but for anybody in Australia. That's a big time zone conversion. As Australian players, you are probably more likely able to make a Beijing time zone catch event than a Western world one, but obviously do whatever is best for you. Or if you work like graveyard shift or have an off schedule, it's really good to know about these events. Also just more chances to win shiny Pokemon, free reward. If you're an Ironman account, these events are really freaking good. Just keep in mind, you do have to convert. You know, you have to Google 1900 Beijing time to my time zone. Make sure to Google it. You know, get your own conversion. It takes like 2 seconds, okay? But this catch event is on Saturday, the January 24th at 1900 Beijing time. I believe it is over in, someone said it was either in Wayward Cave. The other part is, I don't know exactly which cave this is. So it's a rough translation, so my apologies. I'm assuming this has to be in Wayward Cave. Actually, I can almost guarantee it's in Wayward Cave, and I'll show you why. Because the only Gibble Cave catch in Ravage Path is a lure, and they almost never, like, lures usually don't factor into catch events. They try not to. I could be wrong, but if anybody knows the proper translation, leave a comment. It'd be super. I believe it's Wayward Cave would be my guess. Also, it'd be like a really rare event, so I'm guessing it's Wayward Cave, but I could be mistaken. That's a tough translation. There's a shiny Gibble, literally a shiny Gibble up for grabs over at this Beijing time zone catch event. 500 RP also as well for each first, second, third, and fourth place prizes. Next up, Sunday the January 25th, there is a Bronzor catch event as well in Beijing time, 1600 Beijing time. This is like 4 a.m. my time zone, so if you're in my time zone, you're not going to be able to make this most likely, unless you're a gremlin. I don't know, there's maybe a snowstorm coming up, maybe you can make it. Sunday the January 25th, over in Sinnoh Route 206, that's an easy one to translate. Thankfully, this translation, Bronze Mirror Monster. I'm just lucky, like, for a long time we literally couldn't find these catch events. We didn't know that these catch events existed until about 6 months ago, right? It wasn't until people linked me them on the forums. They're pretty hard to find, as well as we were able to use Google Translate to get this rough translation. I do, some of them are really funny, like Gift Glittering Bronze Mirror Monster. I fucking love this, dude. You can win yourself a shiny Bronzor by going to this catch event. Good luck to everybody who chooses to do so. Good luck, guys. Next up, I wanted to call out, dude, Arthib's been making some really cool posts over on the PokeMMO forums. Let me actually pop this out really quick. I try to give credit where credit's due whenever I possibly can. Arthib doing some really cool stuff on the PokeMMO forums. He's working, this is a guide in progress, so it's not totally done, but he is making a tier list. If you like shiny hunting and making some Pokeyen at the same time, he's making a tier list of some of the best methods, which include that. So here is, he like has like a little legend and stuff. It really just goes over things like ×5 hordes of Torkoal, which this is like, you could use Leppas, you don't need Leppas, but you maybe, you know, it's kind of like in between. MCR means Magnet Charm Recommended, you know, little I love a little legend up here, little you know, tool, yeah. So doing like ×5 hordes of Torkoal, he says you can make like 150 to 200,000 Pokeyen per hour doing ×5 hordes of Torkoal, while still like shiny hunting, making Pokeyen. Lantern, apparently Lanterns had some really good success with deep sea scale and yellow shard farming. I have tried to, so what's interesting here is I have tried to Lantern farm in the past, because deep sea scale is really expensive, hilariously. Deep sea scale, well, actually it's gone down a bit. These were 20k for a while, down to 12k. That's it. That's important to see. But for a while these were like 22,000 Pokeyen, and you would farm that Lantern, you would get like 3 an hour. It was pretty slow, but people are saying with Magnet Charm it's actually a bit better. So I'm curious to maybe test that out at some point. Really cool that these guys are apparently testing. If you want to see these in more detail, there's also a lot of really good videos linked over to, I believe, Mr. Ribboy, who's doing some really cool PokeMMO content, testing a bunch of money making methods. I have my 63 money making methods in Pokemon. If you're ever looking for money making methods in PokeMMO, I really feel like there's so many videos, there's so many tools out there. If you just Google for it, you can find tons of resources. I like my 63 money, you know, selfishly, but I like stuff like this. Depending on what you're looking for, if you want to shiny hunt and make money at the same time, like this guide is kind of unrivaled. Like I don't have stuff like this. Is fantastic. This is an amazing guide from Arthib and from Mr. Ribboy, who kind of worked in tandem to test a lot of these things. Shout out to both of these guys. Their gaming, it's really fucking cool to see. So I wanted to shout that out. You can see the full list over on the forums. Woo! Next up, over to the Community Achievement Showcase, and I have to literally warn you guys. Thank you for the prime, Souser. This achievement showcase is insane. It will break your brain, and it will build false expectations of what shinies you should get. I've gone back and forth. I've debated, should I stop showing these crazy top 0.1% shinies on streams? I don't want people to see a Shalfa every day on a Patrouski stream and be like, oh man, where's my Shalfa? Because the reality is, bro, like 1 in like fucking 30,000 PokeMMO players maybe even get a Shalfa. Like, it's just so, these things are so rare. That's why I show them on stream. They're so unique and so cool and so rare. But I also don't want to like break people's brain. You know, it's like when you go on Instagram and you scroll through guys and everybody's like fucking jacked and like, oh, you know, they're all fucking roided up. It's like, oh, this is what I should look like. And it's like, well, no, bro. Like, these are like the top 0.01% of kings. You know, more power to them, right? But just one of those social media things. I want to remind you guys of that before we jump into this. That's how crazy this showcase needs. A fucking like trigger warning, basically, is what I'm saying. Anyways, let's jump into it. First things first, Egoist got himself, he bred himself a Shalfa Baydon. 3 times 31 HP, attack, and special defense. 62,000 total egg encounters. Very deserved shiny. 8,000 Baydons, which was a lot of those. Shalfa Baydon, which he eventually turned into a Salamence. Shout out to Egoist. This is, dude, the yellow glow on that green is, oh, it's so, he was almost 70,000 total encounters dry. Very fucking deserved. Insanely deserved. You want to see like Shalfa hunters get this stuff like this. Like, insane, man. Congratulations to Egoist. Beautiful, beautiful shiny. Next up, this shiny was so crazy, I didn't believe the person when they posted it because it looks sus, okay? And I'll explain to you why. This person posted, hey, this is my first shiny, by the way, and then posted this. Wait, no, this is the wrong. This is the wrong one. But that's how crazy this achievement showcase is. Is that there's another one that I'm even more. This is not the one I was sus of, so apologies. Shiny Shroomish. This is someone's first shiny. Someone was in Petalburg Woods, shiny hunting, I guess. 20,000 encounters dry. This was Kareen's first shiny, by the way. Like a shiny that people spend literally 1,000 hours hunting. They were the sub Jittery Tree. Congratulations to Kareen. Insane first shiny. This was the first shiny that I was alluding to. Someone came in the Discord and said, hey, my first shiny Glidar, but you might notice it has that red glow. This is a Shalfa Glidar as his first ever shiny. And I saw this image and I was like, well, I don't really know what the last shiny Shalfa page looks like. I like, this looks weird to me. Why does it not have the yellow glow in the summary page? Why is the sprite so small? I was immediately suspicious of this, right? But look at the Baydon. It's the same thing. An Egoist literally linked his in global chat. Like it's kind of weird how weird the Shalfa page is, right? The Shalfa page is just weird. I didn't know that, right? You don't see that very often. It's that rare, right? This person got a first shiny Shalfa, and I was like, hey man, this is really fucking crazy. This is really sick. Could you link me more screenshots of like the summary page and stuff? And he did, very easily and very quickly. I think I can confirm this guy got his first shiny checking an alpha spawn. Like, it does not, like, that's insane. That is fucking movie level epic poetry Beowulf type shit. Like, it's, congratulations to Freeman. It's insane, dude. That it's one of the craziest to go. It's insane, man. Congratulations to you, dude. Super fucking impressive, man. Congratulations. All right, next up, a player by the name of Glaceon got and caught a shiny Lapras in the Safari Zone recently, which is already a really cool rare catch that's like very easy to miss, unfortunately, right? And then this was their 99th OT shiny. They're one shiny from 100 OTs, which is really beautiful. And it also completed their full ice type shiny. Like I told you, the achievement showcase day was fucking crazy, full of absolute bangers. Absolutely, all the show is all fucking Shalfas. Everything on today's list is a hyper rare shiny. It's so crazy. This is someone's. Yeah, they have every single ice type shiny in the game. And let me show you what that looks like. It's honestly, like, I would say full type shunts are honestly more achievable than people realize. This is the full ice type shiny list, like Dugong, Cloyster, Jinx, Lapras, Sneasel. They even have like the full families of, like, they have Swinub, Piloswine, Mamoswine, right? You see the Mamoswine, the bottom right of the Glaceon. They have Snover and Abomasnow. They have a living dex of it. They have Spheal, Celio, Walrein. They have Vanillite, Vanillux. Like, they have fucking egg hunted for Rotom to get this done. They have Rotom Frost. Like, that's fucking crazy. It's insane. Yeah. It blows me out how many triple digit shunners there are. the more time that passes, people are getting so good in PokeMMO. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. Congrats to Glaceon. Congrats to everybody in today's achievement showcase. One of the craziest achievement showcases we've shown off so far. Just congratulations, guys. Insane fucking stuff to see. Let's go ahead and jump into getting my gym run done, getting my progress done, and hopefully, I don't know if it's anything that crazy today, but I do want to breed an alpha Absol, so maybe that will get really lucky. I doubt it, but let's jump into it, guys. I'll see you there. If you have any questions, come join the stream. Like the video if you enjoyed it today. Subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're doing that. All that jazz. Let's just jump into it. Any questions, come ask me on stream. We'll talk about the game that we all love so freaking much. Let's jump into it, fellas. Also, like someone was just linking me a 692 encounter swarm shiny Matang. Like, that was caught 3 days ago. Like, another like good statistical reminder is, like, because so many more people are playing PokeMMO as of today, and people are getting better, and like, people weren't shiny hunting. Once again, only 4 years ago, people weren't really like, some were shunting, don't get me wrong, but like not nearly as many people were shiny hunting 4 years ago. Not many people were recording their shunts 4 years ago. Not as many people were playing PokeMMO 4 years ago. Like, we see all these statistical anomalies, these crazy lucky things and unlucky things, because the game is growing. The more and more players you have, the more and more possibilities you have for these outliers, which is a beautiful thing to remember and keep in mind. Dude, you guys have so many insane shinies to flex today. What the fuck is happening? Like, it's too much to mentally process in one stream. Remeru said, I completed the Pumpkin Treat Trio. Do you know how much this is worth? All of these shinies are like, what, 150 mil a piece? Like that will, like, oh my god. Actually, maybe and obviously to hunt. So to hunt these, for those who don't know, the Pumpkin Treat Particle is the rarest particle effect in PokeMMO. When did you get these, man? Congratulations. It's the rarest particle in the game. And to hunt them, you completed it today with the Porygon. Dude, what? It's madness. It is insane what PokeMMO players are able to achieve these days. Look at the very finicky. So true, King. For those who don't know, to hunt these, what you do is you go buy like 8 Pumpkin Particle Effect Pokemon, right? So I would go over to the GTL, I would look up Beldum, I would look up Particle, and I would find Pumpkin Treat. I'd have to buy the 6 Beldums available, right? These cost 14 to 15 million Pokeyen a piece. You would then breed these over and over and over again with 30,000 Dittos on average until you get a shiny. But you're investing, what is this, 45, like, you're literally putting in 90 million Pokeyen to start the hunt, and that's before Ditto costs. That's before Ditto, it's before, you know, and you can, thankfully you can sell these after you finish the hunt, which is like the big thing, but often you'll find players who will misclick during like a Beldum hunt like that and then breed 2 of them together, and it's one misclick is poof, that's minus 15 mil, you know? And I've seen that happen too many times. It is a crazy shunt, a scary shunt, a really impressive shunt. To do it once is insane. To do it 3 times on 3 rares, Rhoda, Metagross, what was the last one? Porygon, is legendary, man. Congratulations again, dude. Congratulations, Remeru. That's insane, dude. Now, this is a good question. We'll talk about like recent bans in PokeMMO. If you've seen, a lot of people have been banned in PokeMMO recently. They do ban waves every few months. This is a known thing. This is very, very normal in PokeMMO. They just do these giant ban waves. Same way most games actually do this, right? Now, something unique about PokeMMO is that we don't really have bot farms in PokeMMO the same way that other free-to-play MMOs do, right? I'm sure maybe there are a few out there or whatever, but it's very, very rare, and I'll explain to you why. Bot farms in games like old school RuneScape happen because you can just create a bot or a script that creates a ton of accounts, runs all the clients. That, you know, the bot does everything. They create the accounts, they run the clients, and they farm the gold, and then you could like sell it or whatever, right? And in old school RuneScape, you know, you can have 20, 30, 40 clients running on one computer. So a bot farm, you know, which is usually a company or an organization who is literally botting a game in like a different, usually like a third world country to make profit, right? In old school RuneScape, you could have like 3 computers, and those 3 computers could be running like 60 clients, right? Which is crazy, right? in PokeMMO, you cannot multi-box. And if you use, you can like, people always say, oh, I actually have a, I took a computer science in high school, Mr. Patrouski, so I actually know that you can run a virtual machine to get around this. Well, if you play Pokemon on a virtual machine, you get banned for that exact reason. You cannot use a virtual machine to get around the multi-boxing thing, right? So if you try to run 2 PokeMMO clients, if most people have tried, you'll notice one of them will like log you out or like close the other or whatever, right? So you can't multi-log on one device. So you have to ask yourself, why would an organization trying to make profit ever bot farm a game where you can only log in on one device per account versus one you can log in on 50, right? It just makes them less profit. Why would you do it, right? So what happens is we don't have a whole lot of mass bots in PokeMMO. It's really good for the game, but the negative is that we can't multi-log, which is an important positive and negative, right? But what happens is every person that gets banned in PokeMMO is almost always a real player who was lured to the dark side, right? When bot farms get banned, they just run their bot to create 2,000 new accounts, right? When a real player gets banned, they go to the forums and say, oh, I'm actually innocent. You banned me for false reasons, blah, blah, blah. So what happens is, in old school RuneScape, millions of accounts get banned. Like it's fucking crazy how many accounts get banned, right? In PokeMMO, we may get a few hundred or a few thousand, but all of those people will rush to the forums and be like, I'm actually innocent. And the problem is 99.9% of them probably aren't, but sometimes human error does happen. We have seen bans reverse. So that's whenever someone comes in my chat and says I was falsely banned, I almost always say, dude, I'm really sorry that happened. If you're innocent, I hope it gets reversed. If you're not, I hope you stay banned. Like, the people that feign innocence when they aren't literally ruin it for everybody else, which is what really sucks. It's a huge thing that's like super obnoxious. If you go to the PokeMMO forums, you will see how often the devs have to respond to people like being like, hey, like, no, dude, we have like really like the clearest evidence possible that you were botting, like, I'm sorry, but you're gonna stay banned, right? Unfortunately, it's like kids getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar and then being like, oh no, it was Jimmy, my little brother, he did it. And it's like, bro, we literally can see you. And humans are weird. Humans are weird. We've all done that, right? So it happens a lot in PokeMMO, unfortunately, where we see people feigning ignorance, or everyone who gets banned claims innocent, and it's a very, 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 very few amount that actually are, which is really sad. So just something to it's a unique aspect of PokeMMO I'm going to keep an eye out for. The positives are that it it helps our economy. It really cuts down on bot farms. Most free-to-play MMOs have that problem. It's with a small dev team, you have to do certain weird, unique changes to make the game function. And PokeMMO has always been really good about finding and like solving problems that have never been solved before. Like PokeMMO is really good about that. Like the breeding system in PokeMMO was revolutionary. That was I think Temtem went on to copy it, but like that was the first time. That was a huge deal. like PokeMMO literally solved how to fix a PokeMMO economy, which had never been done before. Anyways, that's my little yap sesh on the ban stuff. So if you're a newer player and you're like, why are all these people saying they're false banned? Unfortunately, that's why. It's a bunch of not always. You don't want to. You can't assume. That's the other problem. You can't assume because sometimes it is a false ban, but it's often a lot of stinkers, unfortunately. This is a phenomenal question. Any tips on getting dripped out in PokeMMO as a new player? I feel like they have added so many new cosmetics that are super cheap. Let's just browse through, let's just go through recently listed. You can store the item market and sort by cosmetics, which is super nice. And I'm doing my Jimmy run, so one sec. But there are so many, the dragon antlers. That's a little wooden little boat. They're 68k. You also have the dragon wings, which are pretty cheap, I believe. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive. 280k dragon wings. You've got the what else? Isn't the shovel? I really like the shovel. The shovel's super cheap. The back slot item for 18k. A lot of the elvish bow, the elvish bow is new, 180k. Elven outfit. I really like the Shinigami robes. They're getting a little more expensive over time. I feel like these go with so many outfits. It's just the nice black and white body slot matches with a lot of things. The torch and pitchfork class. I like the torch. I'm not as much of a fan of the pitchfork. I like the torch a lot. Torch is a good glove slot. Lollipop is a funny, cheap glove slot. Oh, it's getting more. Oh, wait, is this 300k? What the fuck happened to Lollipop? Yo, what? What else? There's a lot of really cheap, cool vanities these days. You can you can really drip yourself out in PokeMMO for under a mil, under like 300k, honestly, most of the time. I feel like the sprite, like Weasel headdress, the Weevil, you know, 7k. Like, I feel like that's one of the things that, one of the most improved aspects of the PokeMMO over the past few years is the sprite work on the vanities. Like, how is the mermaid costume 448k? It's kind of crazy. The ice horns are dirt cheap. The skull helmet I really like from Halloween 2022, 100k. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff these days. I think just sorting by cosmetics, just browsing by like start date, not by price. You'll find it run into too much stuff or whatever. I think it's just a lot of fun. It's cool way to learn certain vanities in the game. There's also PokeMMO Hub, which you can go to the cosmetic helper and scroll through literally every cosmetic in every slot in the game, and also see what it would look like on your character and plan of outfit that you would like. So great question. Yeah, speaking of, someone said, speaking of cheap, the mage staff is only 700k. The mage staff is one of the most interesting vanities. It was really a pivotal point in PokeMMO history, because the mage staff changed the way people thought about investing. Everybody thought the mage staff was going to do well. Like, that was the first, I think the mage's staff was the first flop item in PokeMMO history, where like everybody thought it was going to do well. Everybody invested into it. It was like, at one point, the mage's staff, it's also an ultra rare vanity. At one point, the mage's staff was like 7 mil during the event of its release, right? I'll show it really quick. Now the mage's staff is 700k, right? It's that cool back slot, you know, vanity. I think it works really well with like the Pharaoh outfit as well. It was back in 2021, back when people really first started caring about or learning about investments at all, right? It's a really, really interesting item. You know, at least a lot more mainstream. Probably 2021 to 2023 is where investing became a little more mainstream in PokeMMO. It was a crazy one. But this came out, so this item came out in the same event where you got the mage's hat. And most people don't know about these days or have a mage's hat because it was the limited untradeable vanity for that time. I was actually playing Pokemon on my main account the other day, going through my vanities, and my wife saw me scroll past the mage's hat and was like, wait a minute, what's that hat? She was like, I love that, how can I get that? And I was like, I'm so sorry, you can't. It was a limited time thing and untradeable, and she was, dude, devastated. I'll hop over to the main account a quick second and show you guys what it looks like. Dude, what? How am I still discovering new, like, specific Christmas sprites? I have a Christmas sprite mod installed. I did a video talking about this fun little mod that people made. Look at this little peppermint swirl Magcargo. Are you kidding me? This is so cute. What? This is a good question. I get this question every so often. I think there's some good depth to it. It's a good question. Someone said, why aren't you on the PokeMMO staff or mod team? There's a few different reasons. Number one, it's a conflict of interest. I like being able to give a non-biased take on PokeMMO, at least as much as I possibly. Obviously, we're all biased, but like, as non-biased as possible. If I was on the staff, I may not be able to criticize things like mysterious balls, temporary incubators, chum buckets. If you've watched my content, I've criticized many updates and many things in the game, and I've also praised event randoms, right? The new randoms game modes, Ditto box trading, all the quality of life stuff, the encounter tracker. We've seen so many amazing updates over the past. We see good updates, and then also, in my opinion, not great updates, right? And I like being able to talk about both. I think not having that conflict of interest is really, really important. As well as it's so much, honestly. That's why I try to glaze the staff specifically and the community managers. Oh my goodness, it is so much work for so little. I don't know if they get paid. I kind of doubt it. I like so much work for so little pay and so much appreciation. Like, global chat and players love to clown on staff and CMs, and it's just sad because they're the ones hosting our catch events, keeping the chat clean, answering questions for new players, being kind to new players. Thank your local CMs. Be nice to your local CMs whenever you submit catch events. I always try to say thank you. They are literally just doing it out of pure passion and love for the game, and it's a thankless job, dude. It's a thankless fucking job. I love PokeMMO. There's tons of people who can be staff members, devs, etc. And I'm lucky. Like, I'm one of the few full-time content creators for the game. So I'm lucky to be in this position. I don't want to throw that away. I think it's a good dynamic. I think I like to make content about the game, hopefully, and that helps the game. The game grows, I grow, the game grows. Very symbiotic relationship, and hopefully to keep the game growing, we have to keep it good, which requires critique, important conversation, addressing problems when they happen, and then also just not letting it getting bogged down by problems. It's that duality of addressing problems when they happen, but then also being able to move on and play the game and have fun, because we do have the best Pokemon game, in my opinion, ever made. So I love playing it. We just finished our, I have some more, speaking of playing it, I have some more stuff to do. Let's go ahead and jump back into it. This is a great question. Why do people Jimmy run on an Ironman account? Great question. A lot of us didn't realize the Ironman account is still pretty new, only like 7 months, right? A lot of us didn't realize how expensive it would be to play an Ironman account, how much Pokeyen you would need. You would think, you know, an account where you can't buy off the GTL, you can't say, like, you wouldn't need as much Pokeyen, and you don't need as much. That is true, but you need a lot of Pokeyen for breeds. Every single breed is 20,000 Pokeyen, and I've done over like hundreds and maybe over 1,000 eggs, like, you know, breeds. That's like 10 million, or what is that, like a ton of Pokeyen right there, right? Breeds are really expensive. And then berry farming, if you want to get Leppas, also like Pokeballs, like we spend Pokeyen way faster than we realize on an Ironman account. Like all my Pokeballs to catch the Pokemon, millions of Pokeyen, right? Like these quick balls, like that's like 240k right there, you know. And I'll go through these in a few catch events, you know, like 3 to 4 catch events, right? Timer balls would be all these balls. Berry farming, right? Berry farming, getting this amount of Leppas, 226, I get about 30 to 60 a day, and it's about 150,000 Pokeyen every day. So like the math on that, like it's super fucking expensive. Divided by 30 times 120k, let's say, just guesstimating, this probably cost me almost 1 million Pokeyen to get those Leppas. Like that's like, berry farming is really fucking expensive on an Ironman account. I probably get like extra seeds and stuff that I'm not, that sounds really insane. I probably get extra seeds and stuff I'm not counting, but like you have to buy all the harvesting tools, which are really expensive in on the Ironman account. So harvesting tools for berry farming, TMs, you throw in so much money into TMs, and you know, we spent mats repels, lures, escape ropes. We just spend way more Pokeyen than we expected on an Ironman account. But it's a great, like, you wouldn't think intuitively you would need that much. It's a great question, but you end up using a lot of Pokeyen on I can never get enough, man, on my Ironman account. Great question. Has anybody else noticed a bug with the PC search terms? I've noticed this recently. If you input an IV and then take it away, the search function won't update. I noticed on the Ironman account, this affects me a lot. So if this is like 31 HP and then I take it away, put it to 0, this should now show every alpha ditto, right? That's what this is showing. But it still only shows the alpha dittos with 31 HP. There's an alpha ditto right here not being highlighted. And it's not the advanced search term thing. But if I leave the PC and go back, I know how to fix it. If I leave the PC and go back, it fixes it. But that's a bug. You shouldn't have to do that, right? Yeah, I'm already pressing. I'm pressing enter. I'm pressing, like, before it would just work, right? Before it would just, I think, I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's a bug. I'm pressing search, you know. Let's do like, let's do like another example. Let's just do like, let's do it again. Ditto alpha, right? We'll search ditto alpha. Okay, it shows all of them, right? Let's now only search for 31 attack, right? So now it changes. It stops showing this one. It shows this one, right? But now if I get rid of this, let's see if it fixes. Yeah, see, like, it didn't fix. It should also highlight this one now. So yeah, it's just a, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. You just exit the PC, go back in. But it's kind of annoying for Ironman. It's been slowing down some Ironman breeds for sure. Hopefully that bug gets fixed. If you've seen that bug, you're not crazy. That's why I shout out bugs like this, because to let people know what's happening, to like spread the PS, you know, spread the word, right? This is a great question, Pat. When you get a gift Pokemon like from a catch event or a PvP tournament, is it your OT or one of the staff members' OT? It's never your OT. It's one of two things. It is either, I think nowadays it's always event reward. I can actually show you an example here in a quick sec. It's either event reward, or if it's an older one, it's developer OT. So let me go. I also never showed you the mage's hat. Here, I'm gonna show you really quick. Here's my Corsola, which is event reward OT. Okay, that's what they say nowadays. If you win a catch event, win a shiny, this is what they'll usually say nowadays. They used to look like this. I actually am lucky enough to have one of the last Squirtle OT shinies in PokeMMO. I won this catch event, the shiny Spinnerack catch event, and this was back when the developers used to spawn in the rewards all individually. And back when they used to do that, it would have their OT. So the older ones, those are from 2023. So back on April, I didn't even realize, April 420, I won this on 420, 2023. Love this Pokemon, love the shiny. That has staff OT, right? But nowadays they all say event reward. So great question. These are all event 1, the gift Pokemon. And then I also mentioned the Mage's hat earlier. This is a really cool untradeable vanity that my wife was like, oh fuck, that's so cool, how do I get that? And unfortunately it is untradeable. The only people who have this, it's funny, like when this came out, whenever untradeable rewards like this come out, they're really common. Everybody has them on in game. It's super like whatever. Nowadays, if you're wearing one of these, it's like this is 5 years old at this point, or almost, I guess 4 and a bit. That's crazy. Like this is actually like a kind of a cool limited untradeable vanity now. It's taken some time, but it's gotten there, you know. Great question, and it's something I've actually I've talked about, like wanting a hot fix for that in PokeMMO Superhero for a long time. Someone said, does your shiny Corsola have hidden ability access, and if not, can you select hidden ability for event rewards? No. And in my opinion, it's actually one of the biggest problems in PokeMMO. That's why I would love to see like an alpha nerf and then event reward buff, not only to like catch events, that's too niche, but also PvP rewards, right? You should be able to select hidden ability access when getting really good example, Dragonite, right? When you claim, the sad reality of this Dragonite PvP reward is that it's fucking useless in PvP, which is really sad and sounds extreme. I'll explain to you why. The reason it's useless is because yes, it'll be 2 times 31 and like 20 to 25 plus in the other stats, pretty well statted, but it doesn't have hidden ability access. And to put hidden ability access onto it, it would cost you a prismatic pearl as well as another hidden ability access Dratini or Dragonite, which is like 15k. It's not that expensive, but like, let's go double check. Like 18 20k. So it's plus a prismatic pearl. So it's gonna cost you 280,000 Pokeyen to put hidden ability access on this Dragonite. But if you were to breed one, or let's go see what it costs to buy one, right? Like if you were to breed one from scratch, it would for sure be cheaper. If you buy one, it might not be cheaper, like outright, but it might even be, which is what's fucked up. Let's go see. Dratini, well, for nature as well. Like it's literally cheaper to buy a hidden, like that's the problem. That's what makes this useless. It's literally 250k versus 280k, right? It's literally cheaper to buy one off the GTL versus have this, you know. And multi-scale Dragonite in most, obviously there are niches, Smooge's outlying the like outliers, right? But in all intensive purposes, Dragonite is going multi-scale 99% of the time. And multi-scale is so much better than inner focus. Unless you're playing like doubles or there's some niche thing. Yeah, you can do the actually streamer actually in doubles. Well, sure, but that's also only like as of recently. They like just added VGC, right? But like it's, in my opinion, it's really lame that the PvP reward for OU is fucking useless in OU. That's a big problem. I'm not what like. Yeah, that's a big problem. As someone who doesn't even play PvP, I'm not biased. That's a huge fucking problem in my opinion. I've heard from a lot of people that the Lunar New Year event is their favorite for a semi-new player. Why do you think that is? For a new dude, the Lunar New Year event is busted for new players in PokeMMO. And I showed it last year. Last year, I literally did a challenge called, it was called like Lunar New Year event Andy. And I did a challenge of like how much Pokeyen can I make from scratch on a new account. I made 1 million Pokeyen in like 1 day of gameplay, and that's including the like starting a new account from scratch, getting the first 2 gym badges, unlocking Abundant Shrine, and then just grinding Abundant Shrine. And I was able to make like over the course of like a few days, I was able to make like multiple millions of Pokeyen. It was like new players can crush. Like it's so good. The Lunar New Year event is really good for new players, really good for a lot of reasons. One of the better events to invest in. I was like, the Chinese player base is just huge in Pokemon, so you have to factor in. So a lot of the vanities for a Lunar New Year event are obviously geared towards the culture that celebrates the holiday. Makes total fucking sense. So you have to, like, there's a lot of demand for some of those vanities, you know? But alrighty, fellas, I think that is gonna call it. I hope you liked today's stream and stream recap. Like the video if you did, physically. Dislike if not, if it stinks and it smells. Subscribe for daily Pokemon videos. I do upload every single day because this game is pretty freaking good. Discord's down below into that. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below. I already said that. Have a great day. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal, and Venmo donations if you can afford it and if I've earned it from you. Both of those two things must be met and required before you donate to me. But otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. But for now, peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here. I wanted to take this second to say thank you so much for watching the entire video. It is thanks to people like you I'm able to make the content that I do, as well as everybody whose name is listed here. That's it for me. Have a fantastic day.